All right, so we're diving in something pretty cool today. We're talking about spicing up everyday conversations. You've given us this list of really interesting words.
And it seems like you're looking to move past the basic vocabulary. Find those real gems.
Yeah, the gems that really capture a feeling.
Exactly. It's not about being pretentious, but it's about really wielding language in a more intentional way.
Like you want to use these words and not sound like you're giving a lecture.
Yeah.
Exactly. You want them to flow naturally. So the piece we're going to dive into is called 11 Most Useful Advanced Words for Daily Conversation You Probably Never Hear Yet.
Okay.
Which is a mouthful, but I think this is going to be fun.
It's a great title.
So first word, serendipity. I just love this word.
Yeah.
It's not just luck, it's luck that brings something good.
Right. It's that good luck.
Yeah. So I remember...
You had a serendipitous moment?
I did, actually. I was completely lost in a new city and, hopelessly lost.
Oh. And I bet that wrong turn led to something fantastic. I stumbled upon this hidden courtyard, and there was this tiny cafe with like the aroma of fresh pastries, live music, the most charming atmosphere. I never would have found it if I hadn't gotten lost.
Well, that's the thing about serendipity, isn't it? It's about being open to the unexpected, recognizing opportunity when it presents itself, even if it's like a detour, like a conversation. Sometimes the most interesting parts of conversations are when you go off script a little bit.
So it's not just about like stumbling onto something good, it's recognizing the potential.
Yeah, recognizing the potential, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, so let's move on from serendipity to Quirk, which I think we all have.
Oh, yeah.
And we love them about people.
Little things that make us unique. Those endearing oddities. Not weird, just endearing,
The source actually mentioned humming while working.
Oh, yeah, like a little background music. I love it.
Yeah, I do that, and I never thought of it as a quirk.
We don't see our own quirks, right?
They're just part of us.
Yeah.
But other people notice them and they think, oh, that's so-and-so,
Yeah. It's like a friend that always has to have their coffee a certain way, or a colleague that organizes their desk meticulously.
They could even be a conversation starter.
Right.
Like imagine someone noticing you humming and they go, oh, you hum while you work. Me too.
Yeah.
What's your go-to tune?
Yeah. There's a connection.
Totally.
Okay. Now, on the flip side of that, we've got oblivious. We've all been there where we're just completely unaware of something obvious.
And it can be hilarious.
Right.
As long as it's not too embarrassing.
Okay, so I'm going to share one. I once walked right past a friend on the street because I was engrossed in a podcast.
Uh-oh.
And they had to chase me down the block, waving and shouting my name. Talk about feeling oblivious.
It's a funny anecdote, but it reminds us that we're not always as aware of our surroundings as we think, right?
But maybe that's a good thing sometimes.
How so?
Like maybe obliviousness lets us focus on what's important to us, like tune out distractions.
That's interesting. So it's almost like a superpower, right? The ability to really hone in and block out everything else.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's move from obliviousness to something much more positive, altruistic. And I think this word really speaks to like a genuine concern for others.
Yeah, it's about going beyond just simple acts of kindness, but really making an effort to benefit others, even if it costs you something.
And I think it's important to distinguish true altruism from actions that appear selfless.
Yes.
But maybe have ulterior motives.
Yeah.
Like someone might donate to a charity for the tax benefits rather than out of pure generosity.
It's about the intention.
Yeah.
It's not just the action, but the reason behind it.
And it reminds me of the debate about whether true altruism even exists.
Oh, is there such a thing as pure selflessness?
Right.
That's a big question.
But regardless, I think striving for altruism makes us more empathetic and compassionate.
I agree with that. Totally.
Okay. Let's shift gears and talk about nonchalant.
Ooh. Projecting that cool confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's about appearing calm and relaxed, even in situations that might make others anxious. It's like saying, I've got this, without actually having to say it.
It's like gliding through a crowded room unfazed by the chaos around you.
Yeah, I like that.
Effortlessly cool.
But it can't be arrogance.
Right.
It can't be indifference. It's this balance between being composed but still engaged.
So it's not being aloof.
That's a great distinction, yeah.
Because aloofness creates distance.
It does. But nonchalance, when it's done well, can actually be quite charming. It's magnetic,
So how do you walk that line? How do you project nonchalance without coming across as dismissive or uncaring?
I think it's about being present, engaged, responsive, but with that air of composure. Like a dancer who makes those difficult steps look effortless.
Oh, okay. So you're still putting in the effort.
Yes, you are.
But you make it look easy.
It looks effortless, exactly.
Well, okay. I'm starting to get this.
Yeah.
But, we can't always be nonchalant. Sometimes life throws us curveballs and we end up feeling completely flustered.
Yeah, flustered. Like that feeling of being caught off guard, a little bit embarrassed, definitely not in control.
Right. Those moments when you trip and stumble in public?
Oh, yeah.
Or you totally blank on somebody's name and you've met them a million times.
I once spilled a full cup of coffee on a potential client during a job interview.
Oh, no.
Talk about feeling flustered.
So flustered really captures that blend of confusion and nervousness and slight embarrassment.
Yeah. It's like when you're trying to tell a story and you completely forget the punchline.
Yeah, you're laughing but cringing inside at the same time.
And I'm guessing it's the opposite of nonchalance.
I would say so, yeah. Nonchalance is like that outward projection, and flustered is the internal experience.
So maybe being able to laugh at ourselves when we're feeling flustered is a sign of confidence.
That's a good point. It's certainly a sign of self-awareness and resilience, I think.
Okay, let's move on to a word that, doesn't necessarily spark joy, like serendipity. It's mundane.
Oh, the daily grind, the routine, the things that can feel soul-crushing if we let them.
Right. Recognizing those aspects of our lives that feel repetitive or uninspired or lacking in excitement.
And this connects back to your desire to elevate your language.
Yeah.
Because using richer vocabulary can be a way to break free from the mundane.
I love that.
So imagine describing your daily commute as a dreary procession of metal boxes instead of just a boring drive.
It paints such a picture, doesn't it?
Okay, so recognizing the mundane isn't about dwelling in negativity.
Yeah.
It's about becoming aware of the areas in our lives where we might be on autopilot. And then we can use language to shift our perspective, find the beauty or humor even in the everyday.
I love that. It's like reclaiming your power to shape your experience through the words you choose.
Okay. I love this. It's like we're turning these words into tools for self-discovery and personal growth.
I like that, yeah.
Okay, let's go to eloquent.
Oh, eloquent.
It makes me think of great orators captivating audiences with their words.
Yeah, but eloquence isn't just for the stage or the pulpit, right?
Right.
It's a quality we can cultivate in our everyday conversations.
So it's not just about using big words or fancy language.
No, it's about clarity, precision, choosing the words that resonate with your audience.
So someone like Maya Angelou, her words were simple, but so powerful.
So powerful, yes.
So eloquence is about authenticity and connection.
I think so.
Not just sounding impressive.
Exactly.
And it takes practice.
It does.
But the rewards, I think, are huge.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's acknowledge we don't always have all the answers. And sometimes we have these mixed feelings about a situation.
Oh, yeah. And that's where ambivalent comes in.
Yes, ambivalent.
Because it acknowledges that we can have those conflicting thoughts and feelings.
Right. It's like when you're offered a job that has amazing perks, but requires you to move away from your family and friends.
Right. On the one hand, you're thrilled.
Yeah.
But
excited about the opportunity.
On the other, it's like, oh, but.
Yeah. So it's not about being indecisive.
No.
It's about recognizing the nuance.
Absolutely.
And rather than forcing ourselves to choose a side.
Right.
Embracing ambivalence allows us to hold space for both.
Absolutely. And even use it as a conversation starter instead of just saying, I don't know. Right.
Which shuts things down. You can say, well, I'm ambivalent about this.
Yeah.
And it invites further discussion.
I'm sensing a theme here. These words are not just about expanding our vocabulary. They're about becoming more comfortable with the complexities of human experience.
Yeah, that's it. It's about embracing the full spectrum and finding the language to express those.
Okay, let's inject a little humor with facetious.
Oh, facetious. Love it.
This is about not taking ourselves too seriously.
Yeah, it's playful. It's using humor or even sarcasm to lighten things up a little.
So like when someone asks, how's your day going? And you respond, oh, fantastic. I'm just loving this traffic jam with a big smile on your face.
Yeah.
Right.
But facetiousness can be tricky.
It can be, yeah.
You have to read the room.
You do, because if you're not careful, it can be misinterpreted.
Yeah.
So it's all about being aware of your audience and the context. A well-timed, witty remark can create that bond and laughter.
Yeah.
But the wrong time disaster.
Right. And I'm guessing it takes a certain amount of self-awareness.
It does, yeah. You have to be able to laugh at yourself.
Okay. I'm ready to embrace my inner facetiousness.
Good. I like it.
But first, let's go to a place of perfection. Pristine.
Ah, pristine. It's such a beautiful word.
It evokes a sense of untouched beauty, something in its ideal state.
It is, yeah. Like a secluded beach.
White sand, crystal clear water.
No footprints.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Or a perfectly preserved antique.
Yes. Gleaming like new.
Yeah. So it's more than just physical objects.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, how so?
You can have a pristine reputation.
Oh.
And a pristine performance.
I see. So it's flawless. Impeccable.
Yeah.
Free from flaws or imperfections.
Exactly.
Okay, that's a powerful word.
It is, yeah. And it's, it connects back to our whole idea of elevating everyday language.
Yeah.
Because by using these words more intentionally, we add that depth and nuance.
Okay, so pristine is not just a perfectly clean room. It's striving for excellence and clarity in all aspects of our lives.
That's a great way to put it, yeah.
Wow, we've explored 6 of the words on your list. We'll be back with more in part 2 of this deep dive.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Welcome back to our deep dive.
I am still kind of buzzing from our exploration of those first 6 words.
Yeah.
But we're just getting started. We've got 5 more.
We do. And remember, this isn't about just adding words. It's about expanding your capacity for expression.
Yeah.
Connecting with people on a deeper level. So where should we go next?
Let's revisit flustered, because I think we've all been there. That feeling of being caught off guard, a little embarrassed.
Totally. Your mind racing.
Yeah. We talked about it being the opposite of nonchalant, but is there a way to reclaim our composure when we're feeling flustered?
That's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminds me of the power of self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
If you recognize you're feeling that way, you can start to manage it. It's like saying to yourself, okay, I'm a little flustered right now, but I'm going to take a deep breath.
So it's like acknowledging the feeling, but not letting it control you.
Yeah, and sometimes humor can be a good way to kind of diffuse the tension.
Yeah.
If you can laugh at yourself and the situation.
Right. It takes the sting out of it.
It does, yeah.
Okay, so laugh at my flustered moments. Got it.
Add it to the list.
Okay, let's shift to a word that I think often gets a bad rap. Mundane.
Okay.
It's easy to see it as like the enemy of excitement, right?
Right. The ordinary, the routine, the things that can, feel a little soul-crushing.
Yeah. But we talked earlier about how recognizing the mundane can be a catalyst for change.
Yeah, because it's about becoming aware of those areas in our lives that have just become automatic. We're going through the motions.
Like brushing our teeth or commuting to work or checking email, things we do every day without really thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And those things, they can start to feel draining if we don't find a way to inject some meaning into them.
Okay, so how do we do that?
I think it starts with awareness, right? Once you recognize it, you can choose to approach it differently.
Okay.
Maybe you listen to a podcast while you're doing chores.
Or you try a new route on your commute. Or maybe you use that mundane task as an opportunity for mindfulness.
Oh, I love that.
So instead of rushing through your morning routine, you focus on the sensations.
Yeah.
Like brushing your teeth or the taste of your coffee.
Being present in those little moments.
Yeah. So it's about finding those moments of beauty, even in the midst of the ordinary.
Yes.
And language can play a role in this, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, how so?
Well, by using more descriptive language, we can shift our perspective. So instead of describing your job as boring, which has that negative connotation,
Right.
maybe you say predictable.
Okay.
Which then opens up that possibility of, well, how can I be more creative? How can I challenge myself?
So we're reframing the experience through the words we choose.
And that can impact our emotions
Yeah.
and our actions. It's like looking at a familiar painting, but with fresh eyes.
Okay. I like that. So recognizing the mundane is not about dwelling in negativity. It's about becoming aware of the potential for transformation.
I love that.
Yes.
All right. Let's go back to eloquent. We talked about how it's not about using big words.
Yeah.
It's about conveying your message clearly.
With impact.
With impact.
Yeah.
We talked about how Maya Angelou embodied eloquence.
Yes.
But how do we cultivate that in our own lives? Is it something we're born with, or can it be developed?
I think it can be developed. I think it's like learning a musical instrument. You don't become a virtuoso overnight.
Right.
It takes practice. So any practical tips for developing eloquence?
It starts with being mindful of the words you choose, right?
Okay.
Pay attention to the subtle differences between words that might seem synonymous.
Okay, so like instead of just saying happy, maybe I say delighted, joyful, exuberant, yeah.
Right.
Depending on the specific shade of happy I want to express.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to experiment. Try using new words, even if you're not sure you're using them exactly right. The more you play with language, the more comfortable you become.
Like trying on different outfits.
I love that.
You might not love everything.
Yes.
But you develop a sense of what works for you.
Exactly. And just like with fashion, with eloquence, you find your own style.
Okay.
There's no right way to be eloquent.
I'm feeling inspired to expand my linguistic wardrobe.
Good, I like that.
But let's be real. There are times when even the most eloquent person is left speechless.
Totally.
We're faced with a situation so complex that we don't even know what we think.
Yeah, those gray areas in life where we don't have those clear-cut answers. And that's where ambivalent is really helpful.
It allows us to hold space for both sides.
Exactly. Instead of forcing yourself to choose a side, you could acknowledge the validity of both perspectives.
It's like being a judge in a courtroom. You have to listen to both sides before reaching a verdict.
That's a great analogy. And just like a judge, you have to have that detachment and objectivity.
So how do we cultivate that? How do we avoid getting swept away by our own biases or emotions?
I think it starts with curiosity.
Okay.
Instead of jumping to a conclusion, you approach it with a desire to understand. So ask questions. Really listen.
Be willing to sit with the discomfort of not knowing.
Exactly.
That reminds me of the quote from Rumi, "Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there."
That's beautiful. And it really does speak to that ability to be open.
Yeah. Okay, so we've explored flustered, mundane, eloquent, ambivalent, and now we have one more word. And it's facetious.
Facetious.
I feel like a shift in tone.
Yes, we're bringing in the humor.
Yeah, a little playfulness.
Yeah, a little playfulness.
Okay, so facetious is all about using humor, sometimes sarcasm, to lighten the mood. But it's a delicate dance, right?
It is.
Because you could offend.
It's all about subtlety and timing. Like a well-placed wink.
Okay.
You know, it can create that shared understanding.
But if you wink at the wrong person or at the wrong time, it can be a disaster.
Exactly. Exactly. So you have to read the room and know your audience.
So probably not something you would use with a stranger.
Maybe not, unless you're really good at reading social cues.
Right.
And you have that confidence. But even then, it's a risk.
So how do we develop that sense of when to use facetious? Is it something that just comes with experience?
I think so. The more you interact with people, the more you'll learn about social dynamics, those subtle cues.
And I'm guessing self-awareness plays a role here too.
Absolutely. Being able to laugh at yourself, not take things too seriously.
So it's like you're saying, hey, I trust you enough to let you see my lighter side.
Exactly. Exactly. And when it's done well, it can create that joy and intimacy.
So it's not just about making a witty remark. It's about creating that shared moment of laughter and connection.
I love that. Yes.
Wow. We have explored so much in this segment alone. We've gone from the depths of flustered moments to the transformative power of the mundane, from the art of eloquence to the nuances of ambivalence and the delicate dance of facetiousness. And in the final part of this deep dive, we're going to bring it all together and discuss how to integrate these words into your everyday life, making them not just words you know, but words you use.
Sounds good.
All right, welcome back to the deep dive. We've been exploring these 11 words, but now comes the exciting part. How do we actually make them a part of our conversations?
Yeah, it's like we've got this great toolkit.
Right.
But we need to know how to use it.
So how do we go beyond simply knowing the words to actually using them naturally, effortlessly?
I think it's about weaving them into the fabric of your communication. Yeah. And the beauty is it doesn't have to be a big, daunting task.
Okay, so no flashcards.
No flashcards, no.
Not endless drills.
Start small. Focus on integration.
Okay. I like that. So where do we begin?
Okay, well, instead of trying to master all 11 at once, pick just 3 that really speak to you.
That you can envision yourself using.
Exactly. Let those be your linguistic companions for the week.
So like if someone is drawn to the idea of serendipity, embracing chance encounters, they might choose serendipity, nonchalant, and pristine.
Oh, nice. I like those choices.
Yeah.
That works.
So once you've chosen your 3 words, what's next?
Make them visible. Write them down. Put them on sticky notes.
Okay. Around your house.
Yeah, around the house. On your mirror.
Yeah.
On the fridge.
Yeah.
Reminders on your phone.
So you're creating this subtle awareness.
Exactly. And every time you see that word, challenge yourself to use it.
Okay. In a sentence.
Yeah. Say it out loud or just think it in your head.
Right. Just to get that familiarity.
Yeah. Just make it feel more natural.
And don't be afraid to experiment.
Oh, no.
Try using the words in different situations.
With different people.
See how they fit.
Absolutely. It's like trying on new shoes. You got to walk around in them a little bit.
Okay. I'm starting to feel more confident about using these words.
I love that.
What about writing? Can that be a helpful tool?
Oh, absolutely. It gives you that low pressure environment. You can take your time, look up definitions, and play around.
Like journaling.
Yeah, journaling is great. Or even emails, text messages.
Just finding those opportunities.
Yeah, to just stretch those linguistic muscles.
Yeah. And what about observation? Paying attention to how others use language.
Oh, that's huge.
I listen to a ton of podcasts, and I'm always picking up new words and phrases.
Yeah, pay attention. What words are they using? How are they using them? The tone of voice, the pacing.
And you can even borrow.
Yeah. See what you like.
Okay, so we've talked about picking 3 words, making them visible, practice, observation. Any final advice as we wrap up this deep dive?
Yeah, I would say, remember, the goal is not to sound pretentious.
Right.
It's about enriching your communication, being authentic.
It's about unlocking the power of language to enhance your everyday experience.
I love that.
So I'd like to leave everyone with this challenge. Choose just one word we've explored and try to use it in a conversation.
Notice how it feels.
How it changes the flow of the conversation.
Have fun with it.
Yeah. Remember, language is a gift. It's a tool for connection, creativity, self-expression. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring and keep expressing yourself.
Thanks for listening.